Remy,
Dr. Shant.
we made it to episode 2.
When I say doctor,
No, we're
that's
good.
something that,
you know what?
that's something Andrew used to say.
Yeah, Andrew used to call everybody doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dr. D, because that's what he used to call me, Dr. D.
I'm continuing that on. I'm not making fun of our comment from last episode.
Yeah, if you watch the episode 1, you'll understand the joke. Right, meaning you have to watch the episode 1.
Yes.
All right, what are we talking about today, Remy?
Posture.
Yes.
Posture.
Fascinating one, isn't it?
It is. It's something that oftentimes, especially new patients, will kind of, they will present, and it's the first thing that'll come out of their mouth is, I know I have bad posture.
Yes.
Or I know I have kyphosis. And I go, okay.
Very good.
Tell me more.
Another fantastic one is the anterior pelvic tilt.
Yeah, I feel like that one's really come about in the last couple of years.
Well, it goes through cycles. I remember I was presenting a seminar with Andrew, I think 2017 or 2018. And there's a whole hoopla back then about anterior pelvic tilt causing low back pain.
Right.
And those people who sit down in anterior pelvic tilt. When you sit down, as we're sitting down, it's impossible to create anterior pelvic tilt because our pelvic is in a posterior tilt.
Yeah.
To create anterior pelvic tilt, I would have to sit, in this position. I very rarely meet people who sit like this.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Even then, it's not exactly a very hard anterior pelvic tilt.
No.
Right.
It's very interesting because, speaking more specifically to lifting, squatting and deadlifting, it's almost like the last couple of years, last 5 years, it's really been huge on bracing mechanics, which is valid in terms of a bracing mechanic. But the way that that's translated to everyday life, and even somewhat, for the lack of a better term, like lay people, non-athletes, people who don't necessarily train or understand the concept of bracing, but they hear anterior pelvic tilt and bad. It's just interesting how it's kind of bled out into everything how it is now.
Yeah, I think the danger with that is just because a clinician can't find a problem, create an anatomical variant as a problem and slap it on the person.
Yeah.
And now the person takes that as an identity, and now they're walking around thinking, I have anterior pelvic tilt, I have a problem, and I need to fix it.
Yes.
That's the danger. That now the focus has completely moved away from what we work with, which is motor control, function, performance. Posture is not the right thing to look at. That is not the focus.
Which inherently controls or has an effect on said posture, the motor control.
Correct.
You want to talk about your PAN, right?
Yeah.
But yes, it is very peculiar. It's very interesting.
Yeah. Now, how often do you get people coming in and say they have bad posture or they have been diagnosed with anterior pelvic tilt?
Yeah, at least 1 in 3 patients.
Mind you, this is your first year.
This is my
as an osteo, and you're already seeing this,
And prefacing that I say a very wide range of different types of clientele. But, oh man, all the time. Yeah. All the time. Especially with middle-aged desk workers, 9 to 5 in an office. I can almost categorically guarantee the first thing that's going to come out of them is I know I have bad posture.
Yeah.
And I don't prompt them at all. That's just the first thing I say. So they've heard it from someone.
Yep. And the other one is I have been diagnosed with upper cross syndrome.
Yeah.
Or anterior pelvic tilt.
Yeah.
And our job is to educate people is that posture is not something you correct.
No.
Right. So before we get into that, let's see if we can define posture. Right. Well, there's no universally agreed posture. So biomechanists look at posture slightly differently than clinicians, than athletic performance coaches. So ideally what posture is, it's a snapshot at one point in time where your body is positioned in space in relation to gravity, and it's in relation to each joint against each other.
Correct, and very task specific.
Correct, right? So as we're sitting down, that's our task, sitting down, looking at each other and talk, we are sitting in a said posture.
Correct.
That's a snapshot. When I'm gonna stand up, my posture is gonna change. when I'm going to go for a walk, my posture is going to change. I did deadlift before we started recording this session. My posture was different then. And I had to control whatever I was doing under load. So the posture was not the focus, it was the function. It was the motor control.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Right? And that's what we like to educate with both of our clients. It's we're not chasing posture.
Correct.
We are fixing the motor control, the organization of that motor control and movement functions.
Yeah, one thing you said to me, and this is what I put in my video, my reel on Instagram today, was this was back in 2021, and I think we were having a conversation about something to do with activation work at the time.
Yeah.
And you said at the end of the day, we're all bones held together by muscles. So your bones are floating in space. Your bones are not something that you can contract, it's the musculature. So how you can have an effect on posture away from neuromuscular or muscular control is kind of beyond me, because it doesn't really logically make sense.
Unless we have this anatomy, the skeleton models, they're put together with screws and pins and metal braces.
I suppose we are. We have ligaments and tendons and cartilage, but it's not quite the same.
Yeah, right. And that's what's keeping us moving or erect or in any position at one point in time, if our muscles. Right. So when you look at somebody, I'll go with mine, and they explain that they have a postural problem or they have bad posture, right? Our job is to explain to them whatever posture that you have or you're trying to describe, it's not a flaw, right? If we take away the symptomatic population, just focus on the asymptomatic population.
Yes.
It's very rarely you're going to find every single person has the exact same posture. Next time you go to the footy game, in the stadium, have a look how every single person around you is sitting down.
Yeah.
Everyone's different.
Completely different.
The way you're sitting down is very different to the way I'm sitting down. We have two different postures. Neither of us have any problems. Your posture is no better or worse than my posture right now, because that's allowing you to function the way you want to function for this task, just like me.
Correct.
Right? Now, so the posture is something that we want to focus on as a function and how they can control that posture with load, right? So how many times in social media have you seen these videos? Like I see that at least once a day, right?
Easily.
Right. My favorite ones, people stand up, they put their hand or a ruler or something next to their hip, the iliac crest and the curve, and then say, oh, if you put a ball on your hand and if the ball rolls forward, if you put a pencil on your hand and the pencil rolls forward, whatever the analogy they're trying to use, you have anterior pelvic tilt and you need to correct it by engaging their solution.
Yeah, and often it's accompanied by selling some sort of package or course that teaches you how to do it. Yeah.
Right. Now, again, anterior pelvic tilt, it's an anatomical variant. It's not a fixed posture. It's a fluid position. And how anterior pelvic tilt works depends on how you control it under load.
Correct.
If you cannot control your pelvic position under load, say squat or deadlift, and you're creating symptomatic issues, well, now we have a problem. The problem is not that posture, but your motor control and the muscular function of that posture.
Yeah.
Right? So one of the studies, we discussed a while ago was the O'Sullivan paper that was published in 2006.
Yeah, one of the first.
Right? We're just going to summarize that people who are flexion intolerant, meaning bending forward, or as we are sitting down in flexion right now, if they have flexion intolerance, meaning bending causes problem for them, low back pain, right? They sit in larger degree of lumbar flexion, meaning their low back flexes a little bit more than the asymptomatic population. However, the other finding was that their low back extensor muscles have low endurance.
Yeah, and that's the important takeaway.
Now, you're a powerlifter. Explain to the folks in powerlifting context how important are the function of your lumbar erector musculature under 300 kilo load?
Well, if the lumbar erectors extend the spine, I don't know how you would possibly stand up with 300 kilograms if they were not pretty strong.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right? So again, it's the function, again, this paper shows the posture was not necessarily the problem, it was an outcome. It's the muscular function and their endurance was the
Correct.
finding.
Correct.
Right? Here's another very interesting paper. Harrington, it was 2011, and they studied people in standing posture, right, from the side, and they found 85% of male and 75% of female stand in anterior pelvic tilt.
There you go.
And they are all asymptomatic. They have no surgical background. They have no low back issues. They have no other symptoms. It's a natural anatomical human variant.
Yes.
Nothing wrong with that. Stop chasing something out of nothing and creating a problem so you can charge people to fix it.
Yeah, and I think that's really the takeaway that we're getting at here is how something which is, you know, maybe to some, well, not maybe to some degree, it is clinically relevant, but people will take things out of context. And then it's almost a bit charlatan, really, the way that they will take that and then sell that on and try and make it into a problem that it's not. But it's almost like a grass fire, it just keeps on perpetuating and perpetuating. And I'll go on Reels and I'll see a reel about it, and it's got 200,000 likes.
Yes.
I'm like, what?
Some of them have 1 million views.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you'll see in the comment section so many people's like, oh yes, I have that too.
Yes.
And my question is,
Comment back and I'll send you a free template.
yes.
Yeah.
My question is, you have anterior pelvic tilt. So what? Is it causing problem? And if there is a problem, very unlikely is that anterior pelvic tilt or the other very popular one, the upper cross syndrome, because you know we spend a lot of time sitting down in office chairs where we are sitting hunched forward, so our pectoral muscles are a little bit tighter to facilitate that position. Yeah, they're a bit tight. Well, upper cross syndrome. So what?
Yeah.
That means you probably have to do a little bit of a work to strengthen your posterior muscle group that sits behind you. And if you have that functional strength, then the posture, how you sit down and work, it's not a problem, right? We both work more than full time. How many hours in the day do you think I can sit down and think about my posture, sitting down upright, chest up, shoulders back, hips forward?
All about 47 seconds before it just becomes
Who can sit down and think about it?
non-existent.
Like logically, isn't it a better solution to strengthen the function, have better motor control with the right person? The posture will take care of itself.
Absolutely, and
Right.
that's what I say to my patients too. And again, going back to the demographic of it, it typically seems to be middle-aged or 30-plus office workers that'll sit down and say this. And I say to them, okay, so why see me then? If you know the solution to the answer, then just sit with a better posture. But I don't think that works for them.
And we can
Fair
use some
enough.
incredible examples of, you know, anterior pelvic tilt becoming beneficial for people.
Yes.
And another one would be scoliosis, right? My favorite is whenever anybody would come to see Andrew and say, I have scoliosis. Andrew would be like, oh, wow, what do you feed it? Because it's okay. You have scoliosis, which is that frontal plane, meaning side to side. So you have a curvature, which is the opposite
the S.
of your normal curvature of your lordosis and kyphosis, right? If you have scoliosis and you're born that way, and you have muscles and tendons and you have built that strength and function over the years, why is it becoming a problem now? And if there are no symptoms, why are you trying to correct something that is not a problem, right? So the anterior pelvic tilt close to home, our friend Patrick, you know, if you look at him from the side, he's got this incredible lumbar lordosis.
Super.
Yes, quite pronounced, and he will be defined as the very highly, you know, tilted anterior pelvic tilt.
Yeah.
But he uses to his advantage to deadlift 340 kilos. We're not going to discuss the couple of times he dropped 350 kilos, but he was able to.
Dude, that was because of his anterior pelvic tilt. If it was a little bit more
You know
posterior.
what? That's where we messed up. I should have fixed his anterior pelvic tilt, and he should
Dude.
have been able to hold on to that
It
350
could have been a
kilos.
400 by now.
You know what? I
Sorry,
got to
buddy.
take this home.
Cut.
Right, like I used that to his advantage when I coached him to get to that point. I remember when he came to see me, he couldn't stand up
No,
from bed for 15, 20 minutes
no.
before he could even stand up straight and walk.
Yeah.
His anterior pelvic tilt is the reason he can put himself in a very upright position and drive vertically
Yep.
to lift that weight up in a very efficient way,
Yeah.
right? Scoliosis. You mentioned something about Lamar Gant to me the other day.
Lamar Gant, and you said Usain Bolt.
Usain
before
Bolt,
too?
yeah, right? If you have a look at Lamar Gant and just Google Lamar Gant, the first human being to deadlift 5 times his body weight.
Which is ridiculous.
Insane, right? He used his scoliosis as a mechanical advantage to
Yep.
create that deadlift record.
And it didn't matter because the active system was strong enough to compensate.
Yes, the structure is the structure. The structure does not dictate our treatment. It's the function, it's the motor control. That's what we want to focus on. And he had good enough motor control to use his anatomical variant to break that world record.
Yeah.
Another one is the Usain Bolt. Again, have a look at, just type in Usain Bolt scoliosis. You'll see some incredible photos of that S curvature that he has. Fastest man alive.
Yeah.
No one has been able to break his record yet. And his scoliosis and his anterior pelvic tilt allowed him to create that beautiful torque from the hips to propel
That's another
himself
thing,
forward.
Anterior pelvic tilt. You actually see it a lot in athletes. A lot
Especially high velocity running
in
athletes.
high velocity runners. I see it in wrestlers.
Mhm.
I see it in so many. Absolutely.
Yeah, especially if you look at anterior pelvic tilt in the 100 and 200 meter sprinters. Just do us a favor, Google that. You'll see they have this beautiful curvature in their lumbar lordotic position.
Yeah.
Their hips kind of like shifting forward, which
Yep.
will be diagnosed as anterior pelvic tilt. But watch in slow motion from a side view how they use that to their mechanical advantage in how they run.
That's a power producer.
That's a power producer. That anatomical variant is necessary
Yep.
to create that amount of torque from the hips to propel forward to create that hip extension that we need.
Yeah, another one I like to use, probably like geeking out a little bit here as a martial arts fan, but one of the most famous and well-known martial artists, or mixed martial artists of the time now, Alex Pereira.
Yep.
Now he recently made his debut to heavyweight and everyone commented about his ass because his ass was so big. But look at the lumbar lordosis, look at his anterior pelvic tilt, one of the hardest hitters in the UFC. I don't think he'd have that power if he wasn't built like that.
Nope, absolutely not. So the takeaway, and the reason we wanted to dedicate a podcast purely on this topic, because how frequently we see people, they're focused and fixated with their posture. Andrew used to call it the posture fetish,
Yeah.
and getting fixated with that and trying to think that that's a problem that needs to be fixed, and especially anterior pelvic tilt. It's criminal the amount of people that have been given that diagnosis and they're chasing a solution that is not even a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the takeaway point I would say is don't chase the posture, fix the motor control and the function that creates it, and you don't have a problem.
And that's so empowering because you can do something about it. It's called getting strong in the right ways. It's called neuromuscular control. Don't let your structure be the dictation of your outcome.
All right. I think we covered most of the things we wanted to cover in this posture period. I would say it's a posture anterior pelvic tilt.
Posture anterior pelvic tilt. There
That's
you go.
the episode.
Episode 2.
All right. Now, before we wrap up, I think we'd like to encourage our viewers to give us some suggestions
Yeah, absolutely.
about topics. We have a few topics that we want to discuss, but we also want to discuss things you guys want to know about, so we can do our research and give you the most informative background and information that we can provide.
Yeah, we will be reading every comment. So whatever you suggest,
You will be.
I will be reading every comment. So whatever you suggest, that is, hey, going to happen next.
Awesome.
Let's do it.
All right. Number two in
Number
the bag.
two in the bag.